What we're seeing across Europe right now is a huge backlash against these restrictions of their civil liberties. And I think for many people, it is seen as that. People are fighting for their civil liberties. It's no longer just fighting not to get the vaccine or about people being anti-vaxxers. As you said, yesterday there were in Vienna 10,000 protesters on the streets. Even here in London, outside of the Austrian embassy, we had people protesting against these new restrictions and the mandatory vaccines that will be coming in next year. I mean, the reality is that Austria is very much the epicenter of this fear that this might then spread to other European countries. They are seriously struggling with their cases. They had around 10,800 new cases daily last week. And essentially, the Austrian Chancellor is saying that they can't handle it anymore. Their hospitals are full, or there's not enough doctors or nurses to deal with it. But I think that this is entirely the wrong way to be going about this. And it's creating this apartheid between people who are vaccinated and unvaccinated.
Who do you think is wrong? You think the government are imposing the wrong level of restrictions on the public?
Yes, no, definitely. So I think the government are wrong in this. In Australia, where we have also been seeing a lot of demonstrations recently in all the major cities, they're protesting, particularly against a public health and wellbeing bill that was passed. And this bill, which was introduced by the Victorian government, would allow them to make indefinite declarations of pandemic and state of emergency. So basically give the health minister power to make broad public health orders and grant authorised officers the power to detain people under quarantine if they are unvaccinated.
The real problem, though, for all of these European governments is what's the alternative?
Well, I think really this comes down to it being a choice. We live in a free and democratic world, and this should be, like all other medical procedures, a choice. I myself, I'm vaccinated. I'm very much pro the vaccine. I want people to be getting it. But this is creating, making it very tense relations, you could say, between public and government. Like in Rotterdam yesterday, 2 people were shot, and they've also opened water cannons. I mean, this isn't the direction that we should be going. And WHO have come out and said that this is an increasingly dangerous way for governments to be treating their people.